At a railway station in a British town, there lived a beggar. He asked for money from passengers on the trains that came and went, filling his belly that way. One day, while he was begging, he saw a tall man in a fancy suit. The beggar thought, "This man looks very rich. If I ask him, he'll surely give me good money." So he started begging from the tall man, excited. Seeing the beggar, the tall man said, "Do you always just ask? Do you ever give anything to anyone?" The beggar replied, "Sir, I'm a beggar. I always ask from people. I'm not big enough to give anything." The tall man snapped, "If you can't give anything, you've got no right to ask either. I'm a businessman, and I believe in give and take. If you've got something to give me, only then can I give you something back." After saying this, the tall man got on the train and left. The beggar started thinking about what the man said. Those words sank deep into his heart. He thought, maybe I don't get more money from begging because I don't give anything back. But I'm a beggar. What can I give? He wondered, how long can I keep asking without giving anything? After thinking a lot, the beggar decided whoever gave him money, he'd give something back. But then a question hit him. I'm a beggar. What can I give anyone? 2 days passed while he thought about this, but he found no answer. On the third day, as he sat near the station, he noticed some flowers growing on plants nearby. He thought, why not give people flowers in return for money? Yes! He liked this idea and picked some flowers, thrilled. Now, when he went begging on the train, every time someone gave him money, he'd hand them a few flowers, smiling. People happily took the flowers and kept them. From then on, the beggar picked flowers every day and gave them out in return for money. Soon he noticed more people were giving him money. Wow, he'd pick all the flowers near the station. As long as he had flowers to give, people gave him money. But when the flowers ran out, the money stopped too. This went on every day. One day, while begging, he saw the same tall man sitting on the train, the one who'd inspired him to give flowers. He rushed over and said, "Today, I've got some flowers to give you. If you give me money, I'll give you flowers in return. Please." The tall man gave him some coins, and the beggar handed over a few flowers. Beaming, the tall man loved it. He said, "Wow, brilliant! Now you're a businessman like me." With that, he took the flowers and got off at his stop. But his words sank into the beggar's heart. Again, the beggar kept thinking about what the man said and felt very happy. His eyes started to shine. He felt like he'd found the key to success, something that could change his life. He jumped off the train, looked up at the sky, and shouted loudly, "I'm not a beggar. I'm a businessman. I can be rich too." People saw him and thought, maybe this beggar's gone mad. The next day, he didn't show up at the station again. 6 months later, at the same station, 2 men in suits were traveling. They looked at each other. One shook the other's hand and said, "Do you recognize me?" The second man said, "No. I think we're meeting for the first time." The first man replied, "No, think again. This isn't our first meeting. It's our third." The second man said, "I don't remember. When did we meet before?" The first man smiled and said, "We met twice before on this same train. I'm the beggar you met. The first time, you told me what I should do with my life. The second time, you told me who I really am." The second man smiled, surprised, and said, "Oh, I remember. You're that beggar I refused to give money to once. And the second time, I bought flowers from you. But where are you going in a suit now, and what do you do these days?" The first man said, "Yes, I'm that beggar. But today I'm a big flower businessman. I'm traveling to another town for my business." After a pause, he added, "The first time we met, you taught me nature's rule. You only get something when you give something. This give and take rule really works. I felt it. I always saw myself as a beggar and never thought bigger. Then the second time we met, you said I'd become a businessman. That's when I understood I wasn't a beggar anymore. I was a businessman. I realized why people gave me so much money. They weren't giving me charity. They were paying for my flowers. Everyone was buying my flowers because they were cheap. Where else could they get them so cheap? In their eyes, I was a small businessman, but in my eyes, I was still a beggar. When you pointed it out, I saw I was a small businessman. With the money I earned from giving out flowers on the train, I bought more flowers and became a flower seller. People here love flowers, and that love turned me into a big flower businessman today. Both men were happy now. When the station came, they got off together and walked on, talking about their businesses. Friends, this story teaches us a lot. The tall businessman knew the rule of give and take very well. All the big businessmen in the world use this life rule to succeed. He shared this formula with the beggar. The beggar took this natural rule to heart, and it changed his life. He changed his thinking, and his life changed. This story tells us that if we change our thinking, we can achieve anything. If we keep thinking small, we'll stay small. To become big, we need to change our thinking and think big about ourselves. The heart of this story is that success hides in your thinking. Wake up your self-respect, make your thinking big, and see how you reach the top of success.